Good morning, good afternoon, or good evening. My name is Charles Lee, Coach Wilson, coming to you live and direct straight from Harker Heights, Texas. And today I wanted to share a message with you about listening. Listening is so important, y'all. It's so important. And so every day I try to make sure that I incorporate personal development into my day. And today, while listening to some personal development from a gentleman by the name of Jeb Blunt, I heard some things about listening, and I just had to share with you what I got from this information. And so I'm going to share with you three things about listening. I'm going to share with you what is listening. I'm going to share with you why listening is important. And last but not least, I'm going to share with you how you can get better at listening. And so, listening. It's a skill that has to be developed, and it's something that sometimes is not taken as being very important, as being an important skill. But I would say to you, I would challenge you, I would submit to you that today, more than ever, listening is extremely important. It's extremely important. And so I'm going to start off by explaining to you what is listening. Now, listening is our ability to receive information and interpret that information that we receive. And one of the key portions of listening is our ability to pay attention and focus. When you're listening, you're paying attention and you're focusing on that what you're listening to. So that is what listening is. So the next thing that I want to explain to you is why listening is important. So when we show people that we're listening to them, in all actuality, what we're saying is that you are important to me, you matter, I'm concerned about you, I value you, and I appreciate you. Do you want to be valued? Do you want to be appreciated? Do you want to feel important and cared for by other people? And if your answer is yes, like mine is, then you definitely want to make sure that you listen to other people and also to other things. Sometimes, a portion of listening is to listen to the environment. This is one of the things that's oftentimes left out when you listen to the environment. And so environments come in many different ways. Sometimes environments come in the form of what's taking place. You know, temperatures. Spending time in the military and going to very hot climates. Temperature can affect the mood. It can affect how people communicate. But when you listen to everything, you'll pick up on the fact that, okay, we're in a very heated environment. Tempers and attitudes are short, but it's the environment that's creating this heightened communication, this heightened anger that's being communicated from the people's mouth. So it's very important that we listen to everything. And so, and when we listen, I can't stress it enough, we pay attention and we focus on the things that we're listening to. So I've talked about what listening is. I've talked about why listening is important. Also, one of the other reasons why listening is important is because it's going to give you clues on how you should proceed, the route which you should take. If you're not listening and you're not paying attention, just like if you're driving down the road on a road trip and you're not paying attention to everything, you're not focused on the whole of the driving experience that you're conducting, you might miss this sign that reroutes you to another direction and find yourself in a traffic jam. You might miss those signs and end up being held up because you weren't paying attention to everything that was being communicated to you. And so those are the what's and the whys. So let's get to how we can become better listeners. So one of the ways that we become a better listener is we actively listen. We actively listen. Now, actively listening is something that takes a lot of things into context. So a lot of times people feel like they're listening just because they hear you, but that's not a true definition of listening. Listening is more than just hearing, because there's so much more that's communicated other than the words that are coming out your mouth. So, for example, are you listening to the context in which people are communicating in? Are you listening to the texture, the voice tone of their communication? Are you listening for anger, for sadness, for happiness, for excitement, for nervousness? Are you listening to it all? Or are you just listening to the words that are coming out their mouth? And so those are things that you pick up with in your hearing. Then with your eyes, we got two eyes. You can pick up on their body language. You can pick up on their facial expressions when you're listening with your eyes. So you got your eyes and your ears, and then there's a feeling aspect of listening. There's a feeling aspect of listening, and this is something that entails you paying attention to the whole thing. Are you asking questions? Can you expound more? What did you mean by that? Are you saying words of affirmation? I hear you. I understand you. Are you paying attention to other things that are a part of what they're communicating? Are they under duress? Are they under the weather? Are they frustrated about something else that's going on? These are all parts of listening. It's all part of actively listening. Now, when you actively listen, it's not just about paying attention to the person that you're listening to. You also have to pay attention to things that you're listening to. Are you paying attention to trends? Were they acting this way? Now they're acting that way. That's something to listen to. That's all a part of listening. Has there been a major change in their behavior? Is there a major change in their voice tone? These are things that are part of listening. These are things that take place when you're listening to your family, when you're listening to your friends, when you're listening to business associates, when you're listening to your significant other, when you're listening to your children. These are all things that play a very important part of listening that we should be paying attention to, but many times we don't. Are we listening to things that have happened to them? Has something happened to them and it's affecting the way that they're communicating? It's all a part of listening. And this is a very important skill to have in life, our ability to listen to people totally, fully. And this is the reason why you have to pay attention, because it's about more than just the words that are coming out their mouth. That's where paying attention comes in at. That's where focus comes in at when it comes to listening. So, my name is Charles D. Coach Wilson. I just wanted to share a few things with you that I got from my personal development today about listening. And I want to make sure that I share this with you so that you can get better at listening. I'll talk with you later. Bye for now.